historian here of IMC Nation. We're here at Eden House. I'm looking at the camera right there. We also got some cameras here and whatever. And this is streaming to the YouTube. So this is Eden House, the main base of IMC Nation here in Las Vegas. AZD has another residence. You know, he's the guy with multiple girlfriends with all the tattoos and multiple girlfriends for multiple years. This is the main base where IMC guys that came to Vegas to train with this guy, AZD, we've all coalesced and collected here. We had, I think, 4 houses in Vegas at some point, and a lot has, you know, conglomerated here. So we have like 10 guys living here, and it's pretty epic fight center, fight club type, you know, ordeal that we have here. And we train with this guy, AZD, who's top player on earth. And this is a stream talking about that, the evolution of game. You know, I talk to guys from all across the world, South Africa, India, Australia, all over Europe, a little bit in South America, obviously Mexico, Canada, and then really obviously the United States. And from rural to city, from grew up with pimps as uncles to other guys that are virgins into their 30s. And probably even more. I honestly don't ask about that, but sometimes it's just obvious, right? So the whole spectrum, all the ethnicities, everything. And I'm talking to these guys, and I'm well studied, right? I'm a PhD of something else, but that's a testament to like just scholarly persistence. Like you got to do shit you don't want to do. You got to study. You got to be self-motivated. And so I got that level of education in engineering. Then I got into game and yoga simultaneously. So I built a yoga business off of what I was learning from AZD about game. He's just teaching game and communication. So much of what he teaches is just mindset, how to change your state of mind, control your imagination, and how that translates into how you relate naturally with people. And ultimately, men are going for women. So he teaches that to get the women that you want, you need to be able to communicate with everyone in her environment and your environment. But from old to young, black to white, homeless to rich, gangster to square to whatever. Like, you need to be masterful in communication in general. If you just focus on trying to communicate right to get the woman, the best you'll get is a woman that'll destroy you, because when you are with her, you're going to be in environments that you don't know how to communicate because you only learn how to communicate with her. You're going to do a lot of low value things. She's going to drop attraction, drop respect, drop appreciation. You're going to be in a regular, square, toxic relationship where the man and woman don't appreciate each other. That's what happens when guys just learn game. And that's what we see with the top level pickup artists and game coaches on earth is they can maybe, some of them can get a girl, but then they crash when they lose the girl, or they are so frustrated that maybe a couple of them are trying to do multiple relationships, but they don't even have one meaningful relationship. They have a few superficial relationships. Then you have like the hyper success. I always throw them in there, like the hyper successful, hyper rich playboy type guys that they have a bunch of women around them. It's hard to even see what the quality of that is. It's just, you see a bunch of sluts and hoes. Cool. Yachts. Right on. Make $100 million, and then that you still won't know how to connect. And we see it to our level with 8-figure earners, 7-figure earners that come and learn from AZD. And rich guys are one of the hardest people to teach. They don't even learn. They're not open to learning. They want results and they'll pay. It's not even a problem to pay, but to do the inner work it takes to change your character, especially when you have so much writing on it. If you've built a business, you have a marriage and all that, like all of that creation is writing on your character and how you've been communicating up until this point. So if you completely overhaul that, turn it over like you were tilling the soil and just change, a lot of people are going to have problems with that. And it's kind of the knee-jerk reaction of everybody to have a problem with that, that most people resist change with a kind of a aggression or anger or some kind of negative feeling. Very few people, their reaction is embracing change. That doesn't mean everybody's your enemy. Some of them, just a little bit of time to absorb it because they got so much going on in their head, they're not even able to really be present with the change. They're just a creature of habit, and anything out of habit is like treated as a hostile. But then some of them will accept it and some of them won't when you change yourself. When you become a player, some will accept it and some won't. And you'll get haters that you thought were friends, and you'll get people that you didn't even know were friends, but they come out and they actually really appreciate. Because when you develop your game, you become a visible signal in the environment. People see you, they hear you, they notice the effects you create with people. You carry weight, and with that comes responsibility. And again, AZD would say that everything he's doing is just ethics. It's just applying ethics, surviving better, first and foremost for yourself, for your relationships, your family, and your business, like just pro survival decisions, and not making decisions that compromise your survival, that compromise your integrity, your mood, your state of mind. Because at the end of the day, it's your state of mind that will, that express, that's what becomes your survival, how you make decisions, what you say, when you say it, who you interact with, everything, your whole day comes from your state of mind. Can anybody argue that? Like, first and foremost is your state of mind. You wake up on the wrong side of the bed, it's the wrong state of the mind. And then do you have a process for changing your state of mind? This is the systems that AZD teaches. It's not just game, it's how to put your whole life together. And it's the difficult thing to measure because guys are trying to measure short-term results. Like, did you get laid? Not realizing that, bro, when I started out with game, it was a lot of, okay, we'll go into story time, everybody. Here comes story time. So when I got into game, it was Neil Strauss. And then he did, I looked at a bunch of people's videos. I looked at RSD and whatever I found on YouTube like 10 years ago. But I got into Neil Strauss because that's the guy who wrote the game. And he studied with Mystery, who was the best. And it just looked like he knew what he was doing. He had a system. It was mostly Mystery Method, just teaching Mystery Method. But he had a system of how to deliver it, the videos, the online program, whatever. Little handouts that, do assignments, complete assignments. He was a writer. And it turned me on to some ideas, and I had almost no success. I got laid once by one girl using just straight game, and felt firsthand the devastation of getting a pretty girl using fake tactics and gimmicks that at the end of the day, you want her to get to know you. You want to get to know her. You want her to get to know you. And if you've been fake to get her, when she gets to know you, she's not going to like you. Even if she would have liked you, she probably won't, just because she'll feel so fooled and duped if you were fake. And so she'll retaliate, and then you'll feel totally invalidated. And so the only solution is get another girl with your fake gimmicks, and feel invalidated again, and get another girl. And you could get so much abundance that you never feel the validation until one day, perfect storm, you don't have any women. Then you feel 10x invalidation. Because where are they all? You got to go get another one. And that's what you'll see. The greatest pickup artists on earth are endlessly chasing, and let alone the mediocre or the bad pickup artists who are still like coaches or whatever. They're still chasing. Man, it's so gross. I was just seeing this guy who was an ex-student of AZD, and he has ads, right? And I watch him because I like making fun of him, and also it's good production value. He makes good ads. But you can just tell, like, he's leaning in with the girls he has. It's so bad. His game is so bad, and yet, a lot of guys learn from him. They pay him a lot of money to learn from him, and it's just, guys, they go for the candy, just like in everything. When you go to a gym and get a personal trainer and they give you like a healthy diet and you don't want to do it, they may be wrong, but, at the end of the day, exerting discipline on your diet, you don't want to do it. You go for the junk food or the easy fix, the easy meal prep. That may not be the best, but it's easier. Guys are going for that with their dating, and it's going to devastate your whole life, men. I mean, that's your relationships are the biggest decisions. So there's been a lot of evolution of the game, and we're seeing it as we go out with some of the top guys, and another group of top guys are going out with us tonight with the IMC crew here in Vegas. We moved to Vegas to train game with a particular individual named AZD. You see him in all these clips with the tattoos and the sound bites and everything. And that guy, in my opinion, in my measurement, is the greatest player on earth. 30 guys moved to Las Vegas to train with this guy, and about 14 of them persist, and about 8 or 9 of them are on the inner circle, still like heavily persisting, like going out as often as possible, and everybody wants to, but it takes discipline, it takes money, it takes, just being on your shit and going to sleep at 2 a.m., waking up at 7 a.m. every day, no matter what. Like, just no matter what. Getting your workout in. Like, I'm not as fit as I could be, but I'm not completely unfit. So it's a balancing of all worlds to be an optimal man, because AZD demonstrates that you can be chubby even. He's been chubby before and get girls. You can be hella tired, bloodshot eyes, and get girls. You can have a long-ass beard like Rasputin and get girls. You can dress like in sweatpants and tennis shoes. You can dress in nice clothes. You can dress with bling. You can dress without bling. And he's playing at his level. So it's not about comparing me to him or him to anybody else. It's at his level. He's killing it every time he goes out, man. We've been out hundreds and hundreds of times. He's doing a science and it works. Meanwhile, he's got 7 girlfriends that are just like, what the hell is that? All beautiful, all perfectly in harmony with him and in business with him. So they don't make money dealing with men at all. They don't pick up the phone. They don't interact in person. They don't text message. They don't Instagram. They have no men in their sphere. 7 girlfriends with no men in their sphere in business with him, so he can invest in making money while he invests in building a relationship with a totally beautiful girl that's totally accepting of all the other girls. And when you hang out with all of them, it's fun and laughter. You see his personal Instagram or TikTok is linked in these accounts. Go see for yourself. Sim Jai, you requested to go live, man. What do you want to go live about? Let me know before I accept it, because I got a whole thing going on here. Anybody that wants to stream game, no problem. I just like, give me a heads up if we haven't been talking before. Good convo, add me to the live if you're up for it, brother. What do you think, Simba? I think I've had 1 or 2 messages with this guy. Yeah, that's. I was waiting for you to say that. Of course, I was going to do it. Go live. Just want to give some advice. Well, make sure I want the advice, or you're wasting your breath. I may cut you off and kick you off the stream if you don't shut up. You know, we get a lot of guys, so I don't know who you are, what you're all about. There you are. What's up, bro?
What's up, dog? How you doing?
You hear him over there? I can hold the mic right here. Another one. What's up? We'll hear you. I'll just hold the mic here. What's up, man? We're trying a new thing with like some HD, so we got like this external mic. He's getting another one. Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, man. What's up? You're like a talk show host. You got that deep, like raspy voice. Like, hey, what's up? I can't do it like you.
Oh, shit. I mean, I guess shout out to God.
Shout out to God. Hey, yeah. What's up, man? Where are you from?
I'm from Long Beach, bro, California.
Right on, right on. We come to
Yes,
Hollywood
sir.
every once in a while. We had some bases there. We had an ex-student in Long Beach. What's it like there, man? Did you grow up there?
I did, bro. Born and raised. Long Beach is cool, man. I'm not going to lie. It's a vibe. It's dope, man. I mean, it's very chill. It's like LA, but it's just a little more diverse and just, you know, a lot more chill. LA is very much, and shout out to LA, because I grew up in LA a lot. I mean, a good amount of the years of my life, too. But LA is just a little bit more who you know and what you got on, and
Yeah.
you flashy, you have money.
Yeah,
Long Beach is not really like that, but it
Yeah.
is like, you know.
I get it. Yeah, I mean, LA is where people like immigrate from all over the world in the country to come to LA and Hollywood. But nobody goes to Long Beach. People in Long Beach, they like are locals that are like in Long Beach. I would imagine. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. You're right. That's type shit. It's just literally like that. But at the same time, I think LA does get a bad rep. But the real parts of LA are very real, bro. Like, I don't know where you're from. Where you from?
Long story. Originally Oklahoma.
Okay. I fucks with Oklahoma.
Yeah, man, I've been a lot of dope places. We're in Vegas now. Basically, I mean, super quick story because I told it like 1,000 times. I found AZD on YouTube about 10 years ago, learned from him for about 4 or 5 years, did all kinds of dope shit with it. And then COVID happened, and that's when I moved to San Jose is where he's from. And me and 3 other students moved in with him in what was called Base 1. And then over the next 3 years, 7 other houses sprung up in different cities with IMC guys, his students that moved in with each other. And a year and a half ago, we all came to Vegas. Some guys dropped out. Then while we were here for a year and a half, it was a lot of we at some point were going out 6 or 7 nights a week. And there's a lot of discipline to keep up with business and energy levels and things like that. Some guys didn't make the cut. We, like I was just saying, about 14 guys are still here in Vegas. And this is what we do. We go out with AZD. He trains guys in game. People fly here, live. Ultimately, 2 guys just moved here. That's what's up. And that's the guy, you know, with all the tattoos and the girlfriends and everything.
All you guys are in Vegas?
Well,
Gotcha.
there's guys worldwide. Like, there's a guy
Right,
here from
right.
Slovenia. There's another guy flying here from Kansas City in a week. But there's the group of guys that lived here, that moved here. None of us lived here. And, you know, for the last 5, like, I lived with AZD for 4.5 years. And about 3 or 4 months ago, he got his own place. And he's just, you know, on rotation with his girlfriends. He's basically comes here to teach, and then he goes, man, It's just all day. Like, he comes here to teach, leaves with a girlfriend, then hangs out with like 4 girlfriends, then goes out with us, comes home and there's a different girlfriend, like spending the night. He wakes up and then another girlfriend picks him up and they go have breakfast or something. Then he comes here and teaches. And it's just like day after day. When I was living with him, that's what it was. But just for a little more privacy in his own process of living, he got his own place. And then I moved in here. We had 4 houses. One of them was like a streaming house that had, all kinds of art and things. They made content. And then 3 of the houses were bases that guys lived with each other. And the guys that still survive are here in this main house, the big house. And then there's a couple guys that have their own bedrooms, like Kingpin and Wolf are top guys that they just got 1 bedrooms for themselves, like AZD. And then I'm here. I'm captain. I run the ship. And this is where people come and they live. We have 2 residents here right now. They're at a pool party right now with some of the guys. And, residency is what guys, the main training vehicle is guys come here, you just fly into the city or whatever, or you're here, and you just come live with us as one of our housemates, essentially, and go out with AZD. He comes here, he lectured. This is like our studio. I mean, kind of not really lit up right now, but this is where, yesterday, if you check the stories, yesterday there was like 20 guys here. So this is where the teachings happen. And then infield, going out is really so much. It's all character, what he teaches.
And you know what? It's funny that you say that, man, because I'm hopping in a lot. Well, just so you get a background as far as why, because I'm a stranger to you.
Yeah.
And you're a stranger to me.
Yeah.
But as far as why I even hopped in live and how I don't know AZ God, obviously, but one of my homies, he's black, and that's gonna make sense as far as why I'm saying that. But he's been following it. I mean, he's been watching his shit for a cool minute now. I'm 27, he's 27.
Yeah.
And we're both very deep into this, the occult, magic.
Yeah.
We're very deep into a lot of shit.
Okay. Literally black magicians.
Real black magician, yeah, real black. It's funny, bro. Real black magi's and some real, my middle name is Monte, but on some real shit, yeah, real black magi's. But yeah, that's how I got into him, AZ, because of my homie. I forgot which video it was. I don't watch it religiously, but he showed me some video, and I was like, oh, this is a fly nigga. It's not even just as far as what he's saying. I can just tell based off of his energy.
He's totally well respected by a lot of guys in a lot of different circles. And let me tell you what I know about sorcery and this path. Because there's a lot of collaborations that have happened. AZD, the Z is not his middle initial. That's a demon called Zapar. That is a demon of mind control and seduction. And the guy, AZD, was the top, AD, Arash Dibazar, was the top player on earth for many years with multiple girlfriends that were 9s and 10s. And we didn't see anybody that was broadcasting the dead.
Are you talking about entities? Or like spirits? Or are you talking about actual people? Okay.
Well, Arash Dibazar is a person. Zapar is an entity. Or whatever you think of it as. And so he came in contact with that through a sorcerer who's also black in Germany. And there was a lot of amazing things happening for a couple years. He carried on the name Zapar because that was the agreement. So everybody, the world knows Zapar now, AZD. And a lot of things have happened that I'm not going to say publicly. That actually is not an easy thing to say publicly, but it's really the surface and all the way to Jesus. It's like a whole spectrum of things. And what I know about the sorcerers that have come through the same connection, the same teacher, a lot of collaborations, and different sorcerers have come around. Geo was a sorcerer and did a lot of sex magic and things like that, is that at the end of the day, it seems like the sorcerers are also trying to get women in the right way, the quality of women, the multitude of women, that if that is at the end of the day the goal of the sorcerer, then AZD could be considered the greatest sorcerer alive. Because I just don't know anybody killing it like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's the magic of the occult, which is language, mind control, and seduction, which is all in the mind. And it doesn't happen when you're with the woman. It happens when you're not with the woman.
Yeah. That's funny that you say that, man, because I'm going to let you know. Obviously, like I said, I'm not God. My truth might be my truth, but I'm not. I'm not going to lie to you, man. I think that a lot of people, especially like in this type of field or this type of like arena, I think that they try and put that on the back burner. Like, I'm not really trying to get women, but no, I mean, unless you're gay, then that's different. But if you're not gay, then no, you are.
Even gay guys are. Yeah, they're lying. Guys are lying. That's what it is. Put it on the back burner. They're just deceiving. They don't want people because they can't handle. God, everybody's fake because the planet is very unfriendly to all the way since childhood. It's just not friendly to be yourself, and it's just not a safe, friendly surface planet. So everybody's learned to protect themselves with a lot of deceit and weird indirect communication. They never say what they mean, and so we know the truth of the male experience, that men are trying to do that with everything they do. And so we just go to the heart of the matter, because at the end of the day, you make money and you make connections and you put yourself out there, and a guy's going to get a girl. But fulfillment is, you definitely want choice. You want quality, you want choice, and you want a fulfilling life that you don't have to change yourself. You want the woman to amplify yourself. Like you power up with the woman. Not, you don't depend on her power, but a man with a woman is more heard and more influential than a man without a woman. And so, not if she's there bickering with you behind the scenes, or she's debating with you, or thinks she thinks she's your advisor. You can make her your advisor, but that's not like her role right there. So there's a lot in it that it's just like, where are you at in game? Like, do you go out? Do you have people? Do you study pickup at all, or what is that to you? What is game?
You're asking me?
Yeah.
Good question. Game to me, that's a very good question. I've never gotten asked that question. And that's also why I wanted to hop into live, because I hopped in right when you were talking about the shit that we're talking about right now. I think the easiest, I think game is implementing your individuality as a man, implementing that into the world, and being able to pull in females from doing so. Game is not, obviously we all want to have sex with women. Obviously we all want to get women. But I'm saying what it actually is, though, it's not like a specific, the principles, like the pillars and stuff, that's a different story. But as far as what you're actually doing, as far as me, or as far as the next guy, it's real in my head. It's just implementing who you really are and what you really do and what you really stand on, implementing that and being able to gravitate females from that. The guy next door to me might be a NASCAR driver. The guy to the left of me might be a baker. If that's what you really love to do, and if that's what you're really passionate about, obviously you're not going to go to the club and bake cookies at the club. But I'm saying, whatever makes you want to do what you're doing, that is the game. Like that's how you're not going to be able to do it as easily as if you weren't, I don't know how to explain it, but you're not going to be able to.
You're putting, I think, way too many words on it. You basically, it's your strategy for getting women. And
well, yeah, I mean, that's
game. Yeah, that's what game is. All that other stuff, there's a lot of guys that don't have to authentically express themselves, but they still got game. So it doesn't, you are connecting authenticity with it, and that's what we would do also, because we expand game. Ultimately, it's going to cost money, it's going to cost time, it's going to opportunity cost in every decision you make. To go after a woman or to build a relationship with a woman is a big decision. To have a girl that close to you, multiple women also. And so how you make your money and how you go about your life is going to it's going to touch or get interwoven with what your relationships, like it has to be. Or you're going to have to live two lives or something like that. So at a high level, your game and your life, how you make your money and everything else in life, your health and everything, is going to either get interwoven or it's going to have to be kept separate. And AZD demonstrates it's all interwoven. It's just the more interwoven you make it, the more power you can have. But a lot of guys will have to face that how they make their money and everything is just, it's really square, it's unattractive, and it kills their personality just year after year after year as they fall more and more out of touch with the game, the real game, the nature of what's happening. And everybody's in their heads. The women are lost also. They're so lost that they have really nothing to offer except their compliance, their beauty.
And that's I wanted to say I agree with you, bro. I do agree with you, but that's why I was using too many words, because something that just like kind of stuck into my head just now that you said was it's going to take time, it's going to take money. See, this for me personally, it's going to take time for everybody, but it's not going to always take the money. And I think that's where some guys, not every guy, but it is going to take money for some women. But I think it's not, I'm not saying this because I'm just thinking like some girl, and I'm not trying to like boast or brag or nothing. Some girl just left my house a couple hours ago. Like,
bro, there's no way to build a relationship and a life with a woman without money. You're gonna have to house her. You're gonna have to feed her. And if your game is just getting sex, then again that's short-sighted. You could do that, and that's game.
That's different. I didn't know we were talking about actual relationships. I thought we were just saying game in general, just as far as like picking up women. Like, if it's just picking, that's what I was asking you. If it's just picking up women, then again, what I would say is the greatest pickup artists on earth who get a lot of women and we've met and we've gone out with are still chasing women into their 50s. You're going to, at some point, you're either going to watch your life go by and you've laid 1,000 women, and awesome, bro. That's cool. That's the experience you want. Some guys want to go to the mountains and live as monks. Some guys want to get into politics and live a square life because they want that. Some guys want the military because they are sociopathic and want to murder people. And some people just want to have sex with lots of women. It's limited because there's a limit on how much power you can have, the kind of life that you can have if you're just a playboy and a fuckboy. I agree.
You know what I'm saying? So at the highest levels of power, you're either going to have to put away the playboy lifestyle and then have what? Either no women or have relationships. And if you have relationships, that's a different game. The guy will soon see, as we see the greatest pickup artists on earth that can strip celebrity girlfriends from their celebrity boyfriends, that it's a totally different skill set to relate with a woman long-term and build something with her that keeps her attracted. Then it's another level, just like that's a whole level beyond just getting sex with a woman. That same way that it's a whole different level to have a relationship with a woman after you pick her up and fuck her, even just to fuck her a few times. To get in something meaningful where she's under you, where she's obeying you, where she's cut it off other guys, and now she's looking to you. Like, now take that relationship to multiple relationships of relationship level, not multiple fucking, but multiple relationships, is a whole different strata that is going to come from a character that has to have your life interwoven with your game. You can live that's what I was saying. Yeah.
No, you're good, brother. And mind you, I'm not like disagreeing with you. I'm agreeing with you.
I can tell you're with it.
Yeah, no, I'm agreeing with you. I was just trying to give like my own insight just as far as whatever, but I agree with you. Yes. That's just another level of game that most guys are not. Because I said what I just said right now, but it's like the girl I just told you about. It's not like I just picked her up and I'm not saying you thought this, but I'm just saying it's not like I just picked her up and was like, yeah, we're just going to fuck him and you're just going to leave. No, we actually have a solid relationship. Like we have and most guys are not even able to, one, just pick up women because they don't have, I don't know, I guess they don't have the value they don't have any type of value or whatever, but actually being able to stay in a relationship.
Could I ask you about it? I'm interested in your relationship dynamics.
Yeah, let me know, bro.
Does she talk to other guys?
I haven't asked her that because I used to do that.
Let me start with how long you been together?
We're not together, but
okay.
How long have we had relations? I'd say maybe for a good month and a half.
There you go.
But I've known her for a while. I've known her for years, though. Okay.
All right. So you've known her for years, and then it just started becoming relations, and she hasn't like asked you like, "What are we?" or can we commit or anything like that?
Nah, because I already let her know I'm not trying to do that. I'm not in the space to do that. But I can give you the intimacy. I can give you.
Right.
And most of them want the intimacy. I'll give you the intimacy. I'll give you the fun. I'll give you the sex. I'll give you the whatever you need. I got your.
Most of them, they want leadership in life. Ultimately, intimacy is still short-sighted candy for them. They don't know what they want because they haven't had a real man. So you're not in really a relationship. Like you have a relationship just as much as you had a relationship before you were fucking. So now you're in a fucking sexual thing, but it's open and there's no boundaries to it. So it's, congratulations. I mean, it is what it is. So are you, so she probably, man, so there's not really much more I would ask about it then. That's cool. So, man, where do you want to go with game? Do you study game? Do you want to get better at game? Or do you just you're 27 or you just in your prime?
Any man that says he doesn't want to get better with game is a dumb man. Of course, if there's people that.
How do you do that? How do you personally get better at game?
Besides just randomly coming across certain people online, I guess, or just experiencing in the real world. I'm very big on, like I said, the foundation, man. The only way that you're going to get better in my head, there's two ways. Experience, either going out here and doing it yourself and really trying to do what you're trying to do with women, or you find certain people like AZ, and that person has the game for you.
And it's really both, because if you were going to get good at fighting, you got to fight, but you also need a coach. If you only fight, you're going to learn a lot of bad habits, shortcuts that work with lower level people, but how are you going to get to the top level without a coach?
Right.
It's just it's the same thing. And if you only have a coach and don't interact and you never spar, obviously you might be good at drilling, but you may not be able to take a hit. So the girl says something rude to you and you don't know how to handle it. So you got to have the real world experience, plug in, but at the end of the day, if, like you said, you want to get better at game, the world's greatest has a lot of content online. And you might be learning a thing or two from a clip here or there, but those are clips of greater lectures that have full mindset packages that transfer, his understandings, and it accelerates you. Like any man learning from an older man around the campfire who hears war stories and how situations were handled is better prepared for those situations.
Right.
A lot of the struggle and the slowness that guys evolve is because they get caught up in the dramas of situations, and it takes time for that to just run its course. If you don't have a lifesaver or some rope or a compass to go by, you're just going in the ocean, then it's just it'll run its course, and then everybody's evolving at the speed. But the culture is very favoring the woman, and if you just what I've seen is that guys that were even players in high school, college, into their 20s, that it seems to pass them by somehow.
It's funny that you say. That's funny that you say that, man. And I'm not really big on. I'm not gonna lie. I am big on asking people questions. So I'm gonna ask you some questions after I say what I'm about to say. But that's funny that you say that, man. I didn't lose my. I don't really care about saying anything about as far as my life. But I didn't lose my virginity till I was 18. Mm-hmm. But I had a lot of eyes on me. I had a lot of people on me. And I'm not going to get too deep into why I didn't. But I just didn't lose my virginity until 18. But the guys that I knew, and I was a really well-respected guy, for the most part, well-liked guy. Uh-huh. The guys that I think you're talking about, those type of dudes, see, that in my head, it's that
Audio cut out. Audio cut out. I don't hear you now.
That goes back, just as far as the character shit that you were saying.
Well, let me ask you a question then. Let's speed it along because I'll have to move on to the next thing. Is that frozen up there? So what do you want out of game? You're 27. What do you want by the time you're 37?
What do I want by the time I'm 37?
Yeah. In game or life. But game.
I mean, game, that's not something that I'm already me, man. So it's if I can get some pointers and shit, that's cool, I guess. But I don't really have problems with women.
You don't want a girlfriend?
Do I want a girlfriend? That's what I'm saying, bro. I can get a girlfriend. This is
Why don't you have one then?
The point where I can sustain a woman.
It cut out. Would you say it again?
I'm not at the point right now where I can sustain what a woman needs. That's not something that I understand.
So when you are able to, do you see it being that like you're going to tell the woman, yo, I can support what you need, be my girlfriend? Or do you see her asking you, well, can I be your girlfriend?
Nah, man. When I have what I need, like for me as a man, for me as far as side, no, I'm gonna let her know. Like
You're going to let her know. Okay, so here's the pointer then. When you get good enough at game, you don't need to let her know. She'll ask you, can I be your girlfriend? So when you get better at game,
that's fuck too.
huh?
That's fly too. Yeah, no, I fuck with that.
Ultimately, because why would a man chase a woman to be his girlfriend? It should just be, you could tell her, be my girlfriend. I don't want you being with other guys. But that's probably going to happen. It's going to be obvious. She's going to be giving you like clear signals, and she's just, how she is. But it's going to be very obvious. Her communication is, I want to be your girlfriend. So whether you have resources or not, if the girls you're around are not doing that, then you could get better at game there. Yeah, that's different than how much money you make and how much you can support her. There's a quality of character that you can be without changing anything else about your life. There's a way you can be that she asks you to be with you, and that can happen.
One, I know you said you have to go, so I'm gonna let you go.
Yeah, on an hour, but yeah.
I agree with that. I know for real. I know it sounds like I'm like tugboating you with this conversation, like I'm pulling you. But no, I agree with that. But it's not so much that, man. It's more so like I'm not the type of guy to say, okay, now I have the money now, so where the bitch is at.
So that's why I'm asking, do you want a girlfriend? Because you said you can have a girlfriend, but then why don't you if you want one?
Because I'm not at the you're being very specific. I appreciate that.
Right.
Because I'm not at the point internally where I want, not that I can. I'm glad you specified. I'm not at the point where I want to devote my energy and time, especially in the place that I'm at right now, to a woman. Unless the only way, and right now, who I am right now, what I'm dealing with right now, the only way I would do it is if she was completely what I needed her to be, as far as helping me get to my goals.
Oh yeah, like how would she do that?
I'm talking about being. I was about to say something crazy, like subordinate, but just completely being what I needed. And even then,
like, what do you need? Do you know what you need? I'm asking, like, what would you need if she was perfect? What would it need to be for you to devote yourself to her?
Okay, when I need this, I need this. This is as far as I'm a musician. There's a lot of things that I do. If I need something done, okay, how are?
Okay, so compliant and obedient and doing whatever you tell her to do, basically.
That sounds kind of crazy.
No, that's my standard. I won't get with a girl that's not like that.
Okay, that's not.
Because that's game. That's game. Standards are, you get higher standards as you get better at game. Just like the standard of, I wouldn't chase a woman and tell her I have the resources that I can take care of you now. You should be my woman. It would just be, you could be with me if you want. I'm not going to take care of shit. But the thing is, the woman doesn't need you to take care of shit. The woman needs you to guide her mind. And so right now you don't have, you're kind of lost a little bit about your aims and goals. You don't have a lot of certainty on your value as a man to the woman. I don't know about this phrase of like, it was Simba. What do you think about, I got a brother right here from Atlanta. What do you think about when is a man is ready internally to devote himself to a woman? What do you think about that kind of concept or that phrase? Interesting. Says, I don't know that you'll ever be ready. You just got to go into it. Okay, that's interesting. What do you think is in between you and being ready to devote to a woman?
That's a good question. For one, I am in. Okay, I'll just answer your question. What's in between?
Yeah, because you said you're not ready. So like internally. So what internally needs to change for you to be ready? Is it just the women aren't good enough to inspire that in you? Or what? You feel like you got to make more money? Or what? You just don't get the woman's not treating you well enough to make you want to like protect her and guide her and take on the responsibility of her bullshit? Or what? Or do you just not know how? Like, what's the next steps after you fuck a girl a bunch of times? Like, how do you guide her into a relationship? Where is it coming up? Is it fear? Is it like, oh man, I gotta get married. If I get with her, then I'm not gonna be with other women, and I don't want to do that. There, that's game.
I think it's You're asking some really good questions, man. I think it's there's two things. I think one of the things is you're not worth me sacrificing my internal peace to get where I need to go because I already understand where
Right.
I need to go.
Got it.
Listen, man, I'm gonna let you go. I might be wrong, but
No, you're right.
the women, and I'm not saying women haven't done anything for me. There's a lot of women that I ain't gonna lie, majority of the women that I have fucked with, they have been more so the type of time of, okay, what do you need? But not to the degree of what do you really need, like specifically kind of do.
Right on.
Every guy.
Okay, brother. Yeah, man. Listen, I don't want to lecture you, but I'm definitely, if you want to stay on, feel free to stay on. You can even hop off the joint stream. If you want, you can come back on if you want. I got to get a message out before I run out of time, and I'm going to talk on exactly what you were just saying. I don't want you to take it personally because I'm going to talk all I'm going to talk hella aggressively because I'm aggressive. But I want you to know that I was just like you, and at your age, I was worse. And you might not think of it as bad or whatever, but that's where I'm gonna let it free. So feel free to stay on or whatever, and I'm just gonna go. So, okay, everybody, game is man. You got to have a strategy of life and what you're doing with your life, and aligning your strategy of life and what you're doing with life with women. Otherwise, you're gonna have this double life that it's gonna be at odds with each other. And you're going to have to hide one from the other or somehow compartmentalize it takes a lot of energy to split it up. Like a lot of brothers will say when a woman takes a lot of time and a lot of attention and it'll drain your energy and, there's a lot of chaos with that. That's inevitable. However, actually, brother, because there is some sounds in the background, maybe you could just rejoin if there's any questions afterwards.
I can exit.
Yeah, just exit because there's like background sounds or whatever. Although I really appreciate it. We'll talk again, I'm sure. And so it's inevitable that the woman's going to bring chaos. But like, let's say I had a Rubik's Cube and somebody would take 10 lifetimes to solve this Rubik's Cube. Someone else might take 10 minutes. At some point, I could do it in 60 seconds, a minute. You get better and better at solving it. Some people, they go in and they're talking to somebody to sell them something, and they're trying to sell them for 20 hours. Another guy takes 2 hours. Another guy takes 2 minutes, literally in 2 minutes, and boom. There's a skill. They're getting the same result. Some guys for 20 years will chase the same woman. High school friends for 20 years finally gets with her at 37 years old. Another guy comes in and in 2 hours, they're on a date and takes her home or whatever. Solve the problem of it. You get better and better at solving the problem of your life as you apply yourself to it, but you need outside assistance because you're clogged with a bunch of circuitous, meaning like all over the place ways of thinking that isn't getting right to the heart of the matter. And that's what we were just talking about is guys everywhere are going for women, but they're doing everything else except getting better at game. They're getting better at music, or they're getting better at engineering, or they're getting better at whatever. They're even physical fitness, elements of getting women, but that's not the actual game of interacting with women. Go right to the heart of the matter. Then you'll see reverse engineer that to interact better with women, I need to be confident in my body. I need to have good energy. I need to be certain about how I make money and know how to talk about it. And like, there's just no way around that. When you do that, then it becomes very, very relevant how to lead a woman into a relationship. Because when you're a man that's all about your business, there's a lot of men about their business, a lot of men who aren't, but when you get into the real world of men who are all about their business, trying to kill it, beat every other man in their industry, be the best and get all the women, because that's what men are doing, then you have a learning curve, bros. You got a long way to go to be at the top. And when you get to the top, you're gonna have a lot to lose. And that's where it's gonna be so critical what your relationship game with women is. When you got a lot to lose, women will pretend like they're pregnant, they'll scream rape, they'll do all kinds of things. And so you'll eventually settle with a woman because it's safer. And then she'll destroy you in the long term like a spider just leeching on you. You're going to have choice. AZD has demonstrated the only way to keep a 10 for a long time is to show her that you can have other 10s. That is the essentially great. Now, if you're not trying to get a 10, then you're settling for something less maybe, and you got to work on yourself to get to a 10. But what else are you doing in life? You're working on a bunch of shit ultimately to get the 10. You're trying to make a bunch of money and celebrity status and networking and whatever so you can get the 10. And if she gets with you, she's just using you. She's using your money. She's using all that shit that you worked for, not in a way you'd want her to use it. She's just using you for it to leapfrog to the next guy. Hypergamy, they call it. Versus getting her, possessing her. She's yours. That takes game. And if you wait until the success to learn the game, you're never going to learn the game. And you got to learn game in a way that you also achieve success with your game. Versus guys that are learning game as a sleazy shortcut way to get girls, but they're not building that. They still have their square, totally square life. They could be doing a rad activity, but they're square about it because they still think about it super square. And so their lifestyle doesn't actually attract the women. They attract women with a bunch of things they don't even know they're attracting women with. Guys are largely unconscious, like my brother we were just talking about. Smooth, but largely unconscious about what is he doing that's actually getting the woman. Because if you knew that, you would just amplify that and cut out everything else. And then before you know it, the girl that you've been banging for a month and a half who already knows you so well because she's known you for years is going to want to be with just you. Inevitably, she is coded to want to be with just you, but you're demonstrating weak qualities with uncertainty and just a lack of leadership. You don't know how to lead a woman into a relationship and then continue leading her through a relationship for years and years and years. That's game. And where are you going to learn that? Trial and error? Are you going to read a book? Who are you going to learn from? We got a guy, AZD, who's the top player on earth. First girlfriend, 19 years. Second girlfriend, 16 years. Third girlfriend, 10 years. And then 7 girlfriends total is what it is right now. And I lived with him 4.5 years. Dude is legit. Training with him, I've had up to 5 girlfriends. Right now I have 1. And I'm okay with it, but I'm also hunting. I'm on the hunt. It's just what it is. Like, I'm not ashamed about it. The level of girlfriend and the level of relationship I have, you'll spend a lifetime trying to get to that. And the fact that I live free, I'll die well, the way that I am. The women, watch, I wanted to say earlier to these guys that went to the pool party, because I think they're making a mistake. It's appealing, but I think they're going to lack energy tonight. And yeah, all of them, really. And the guys, I don't know that's, I mean, I could see the promoters because they'll make money if they can get some guys from the pool party to a strip club or whatever. So I see the synergism in that. And the other guys, whatever, they do what they want. But watch, I was going to say to them, what will happen is there's going to be a storm of girlfriends. I'm going to get 2 to 4 girlfriends fast. It's happened twice before, where it's just you build up, you live with minimal for some time, and then it's happened 3 times actually. Happened 4 times. I went from none to 2, then back to none. Then it happened again to 4. Then it went down to 1. Then I held that 1 for years while I got with like a bunch of other girls, 15, 20. And she knew about it, all of it. And then we broke up because I found the next girl. I was with her for a few months. We broke up and I was in a heavy dry spell during COVID. It sucked. Then it jumped to 2 girlfriends, solid. 1 still with me. Then it went down to 1. But going from 0 to 2 is quite a thing. And that's happened twice. 0 to 2 women completely under you, everything you say. You got to be responsible for what you say because it'll boomerang on you. And then you'll have to face that she's just doing what I said and doing it bad. And what I said was bad. And so it's all kinds of bad. You face your character. You're weak in character if you haven't been tested with a woman. And then it went to 5. From 1 to 5. It went from 1 to 2, and then from 2 it went really quickly to 5. And then it was for 5 for like 6 months, then 4 for like 6 months, then 3 for another 6 months, then 2, and then 1, and then 2, and then now 1, and so whatever. But what the time we've been putting in here, I see a similar pattern. There's a girl over there that likes me a lot. A girl over there that likes me a lot. A girl over there that likes me a lot. We don't interact that much. Once a week, maybe once every other week. In between, I'm hella upgrading my character. At some point, it's going to be a tidal wave. And cool. I already know it's going to happen, and then it'll dwindle, and then it'll keep breathing like this. It breathes like this. But guys will measure quantity and not quality. And that's a tough thing when you're coming from the standards that I was at, where I started with. They were practically lesbian girls. from 0 to 2, just dirt. And the quality that I got now and who I'm interacting with now, it's like it's breathing. There's another dimension that's invisible, and that's called quality. I'm making that up, but like if there was another dimension, quality, it's expanding greatly there. Standards are part of that. Like I was telling the guy, what you do in this world as a man, what you're about, can alleviate any quotas that a lot of women want. The game to me is based off your character. It is, but it's how you lead her. It's how you lead her. And that's ultimately going to come down to how you communicate with her. You're going to need to know how to communicate with her that she agrees to that. Being in theory space or having seen one or two examples and thinking that, well, if I just parrot that or if I mimic that, it doesn't work like that. It's a huge character overhaul. It's not a small thing. It's an enormous thing. I have a PhD in engineering. I was a state champion, All-American wrestler, Division I varsity at University of Oklahoma, not easy. I built a yoga brand against all odds. And I did other things that were also very high level. What I did with yoga was, this game is much more difficult than all of those. All of those. Good luck. Good luck with your theories. If you're learning from anybody but AZD, you're lost. And if you're not learning from anybody, then you're probably less lost, honestly, than the guys learning from other people, but you're still lost. You gotta learn, and to learn is investment. There's no teacher on earth worth his britches that has anything to teach that's not worth paying for. In the spiritual world, all the way to the business world, and everything up and down and across. And if you're not invested in learning, well, your money's going somewhere. You're investing in something. And are you improving your game? What are you really doing to improve your game? If you're just going trial and error, getting out and interacting with women, trial and error, that's a very slow evolution. Do anything trial and error. Say, figure out anything technological, just trial and error. You'll figure it out, but why won't you read the user's manual? Why won't you ask somebody who's the world's best at it if he's right there? You know what I mean? Is it important? The guy said, every man on earth is trying to get better at game. What are you doing about getting better at game? Communication and leadership is just something I think these dudes would already have. That's easy. Developing your characters harder. It's not easy. It's not easy because if they were good at it, then they would lead a lot of women. Women like leaders, right? So all those guys, why don't they have a lot of women perfectly under them? Like you're banging a chick, you might be fine. You might have other women. Why aren't they totally under you? Because you're not leading them. So you're talking, but it's not real to you. You're just saying it. Leadership will manifest as followers, and follower to the nth degree. I know how to be a follower. I know how to lead. Start with following. You followed people all your life and they led you astray. The dead ends and suffering and, misinformation. They did their best, probably most of them, and whatever. So if you have access to the greatest on earth in leading women, demonstrating that he's leading a lot of strong men also. We moved here to train with this guy. That doesn't happen on earth. Now you're talking like spiritual guru, and he is, but that's not, we're learning the game from him. He's very spiritually evolved, but we're learning the game from him. Measured in results, right? So everybody go to imcbase1.com. It's on the bio, free newsletter, a lot of great content. Some audios that'll blow your mind as far as frames of mind. It's free. You get like 66 pieces of content in a row of stuff you won't find anywhere on YouTube or Instagram because it's unlisted or it's hidden. And it'll blow your mind. He's better than you think he is. It's the next level above Instagram or TikTok. So it's just an investment of time. You put it in an email and you get it. And then from there, you'll see programs and things you can study if something piques your interest. But you got to try. Otherwise, you're just stagnating. You're not getting better doing all that other stuff. If you are, it's like a little bit. Like you got to grow. Like my girl says to me, wow, like her eyes so wide when she sees how I've responded to something. You've grown so much. She was only 3 days away from me. Like that kind of speed of growth is what you need if you want to go from where you're at to great at game. You got to speed up a lot, bro. You're too old. Okay, everybody, imcbase1.com. Catch you on the next one. Be the best. Fuck the rest. Os. Praise the Lord. Salute. Yeah. End stream. Who was on? Just KP or TK? Nice. Not just TK. Honestly, I should have opened it up to you, but the guy took all that time. But thanks, TK. Always.